All right. Hey guys. As you can see up here, I'm currently not streaming, but I saw this video on YouTube that I'm like, as the biggest Suns fan, like ever. I really wanted to watch it. If you're not a Suns fan, probably just click off the video right now because you probably don't care. But the video is called "The New and Improved Phoenix Suns." Uh, let's get into it.
Coming into the season, the Phoenix Suns were expected to be one of the worst teams in the Western Conference.
I think we were expected to win like 25 games only, and I think we're at like 28, 29, 30, something like that. I don't really know.
They had traded Kevin Durant to the Houston Rockets,
I'm going to miss Kevin Durant. He was a good son, but he wanted to leave. That snake, get him out.
and Jalen Green, who was supposed to be their offensive engine, has only played 2 games this year.
Yeah, we want to talk about that. The Suns were supposed to be one of the worst teams. We're missing Jalen Green, and we're like a 7 seed right now. We were like a 4 seed not long ago as well.
But with the help from coach Jordan Ott, the Suns are 22-15 in a
27-17, but that could be changed. Oh, y'all can't see. 27-17, but that could change because I don't know how old this video is.
very tough Western Conference, and it's by turning back the clock that has allowed them to maximize this roster. When overhauling the team, owner Matt Ishbia was clear in what he had wanted: grit, determination, and some grind. Phoenix is creating 17 turnovers a game, which is third best in the league.
17. That's like good. Nice.
And it's because of their really aggressive defense that has allowed them to create this edge.
I don't think no one would have believed the Suns would be like number 5 in power rankings.
The first thing they do is get really physical with the star. Kevin Durant has a height advantage over the 6'3 Jordan Goodwin, but he's holding him so that Shepard has to throw it to his outside hand. So he's able to get in position to pick that pass off and then finish at the other end with a layup. A few possessions later, Goodwin is back on Kevin Durant, so the Rockets try to set a screen to free him up. But Goodwin fights through it hard, so they reverse it to the other side. Thompson has a step on Brooks, but Mark Williams is right there to help. On the pass, Grayson Allen strips Capella, and that gives time for Brooks to make that final contest. While the Suns aren't big, they are extremely fast, so they cover a lot of ground. The Rockets finally get Durant the ball this time.
I would say we're pretty like a fast team because we don't have much tall players.
And Goodwin actually cheats too much, but because he's grabbing him, Dunn has time to come over. That then allows everyone to get back in position, and Dunn's length affects that shot. Yes, it's fair to say that Goodwin can't grab Durant like that, but similar to teams like OKC, Phoenix can get away with a fair share of contact because they play very intense defense for the whole 48 minutes.
How did we beat the Thunder? We're like one of 5 teams to do it, 6 teams to do it. I don't know.
But it only works because they are very well coached. SGA is going at Devin Booker, but look at the matchups. Even though Chet Holmgren is Mark Williams' matchup, Royce O'Neal is the guy that's on Chet, and that allows Mark Williams to then roam the paint to help. So as SGA drives, Williams is there, so he has to step back. Booker doesn't bite on the pump fake, and Williams then uses his wingspan to get that steal.
Good steal.
One of the things Jordan Ott has also preached is making sure the star is seeing at least 2 or 3 bodies all the time. On this one, SGA has Booker as his matchup, so as he drives, Iguodala then comes to help. So Shea wants to kick it out, but the Thunder now have to reset the possession. So this time, Caruso tries clearing out to give SGA more room, but Dunn smartly comes over at the last second to bother his shot. These defensive rotations are absolutely perfect. As Lou Dort drives on Mark Williams, Booker has to help, so Chet smartly flashes to the middle of the paint. But Dylan Brooks then comes over, and Booker scrambles out to J-Dub, and even though Chet makes that, that's a much tougher shot, and he got called for the travel anyways. So far this season, there's been a lot of discussion about how the NBA is allowing offenses to do almost whatever they want. One particular thing that has stood out is how guys are able to just go through the defender.
That is a travel. Okay.
Whatever they want. The biggest advantage for teams now,
unless I saw that wrong, that looks such like a travel.
Through they want. One particular thing that has stood out
Hold on.
is how guys are able to just go through the defender. So
I
because
don't know if that's a
offenses have so
travel
much
or not.
freedom to do whatever they want, the biggest advantage for teams now is on the defensive end. And the easiest way defenses can gain an edge is if they are relentless on every single possession. The reason Phoenix has all this energy is because they have a lot of depth on their roster. Last year, this
Yeah,
team
we
was really
do.
top heavy with 3 guys that could score, but not much more around it. And especially with the second apron in effect, the way teams are building now is to acquire as many depth pieces as possible. So even though Devin Booker is their only star player, they have a lot of defensive focused guys. They play 10 guys almost every night, so they have the flexibility to rotate between guys pretty frequently. Where that energy has also helped on the offensive side is on the glass. Because the Suns don't have that much offensive firepower, one way they can create an edge is on the offensive rebounds. They average 13 of them a game, which is 6th in the NBA. So by
Not bad. 6th in the NBA.
creating turnovers and getting extra possessions, the Suns are able to just get more shots up every night, which then helps make up for their lack of offensive talent. Mark Williams and Ryan Dunn are 2 guys who don't provide the spacing with their shooting, but they punish their matchups on the glass, and that then creates better second chance opportunities for their teammates who are better shooters. The thing is, it's not just the effort, but it's Mark Williams'
From
wingspan
deep.
that creates the offensive rebound opportunities, even in situations that don't look
Yo, why are we
possible.
only showing our big
On this one,
shots?
Williams screens so Booker can take this jumper, and Gobert is in good position, but Williams just uses his wingspan to tap that off DiVincenzo.
We're
And now it's a
only
big
showing
scramble,
our
and those
brick
long arms
shots.
snatch that away. But the part that might be the most surprising is that Booker isn't necessarily touching the ball all that much more. Coming into the season, a lot of people believe that Booker would have the ball in almost every single possession. But what we're quickly learning is that they have a lot of guys that attack the paint with force. Just like how the Suns' quickness is utilized on the defensive end, their guards are all fearless at attacking the paint and then making decisions as they need to. And what that has done is create an offense that can score in the aggregate instead of relying just on Booker. Grayson Allen might be one of the biggest surprises. He's always been known as a knockdown shooter, but he's also one of the Suns' primary ball handlers. On this one, he brings the ball up, and the Suns are trying to set a screen to get Booker open.
I would say Grayson Allen is underrated.
Now, the Rockets do handle that well, so Allen just decides to take it himself, and he throws it up to Iguodala for the slam. Grayson Allen has also gotten more touches in the pick and roll. Part of the reason is because he can surprisingly pass the ball. He's averaging a career high 4 assists a game, and I think his best asset is that he knows when to make those kick-out passes to shooters. And notice how when he drives with force, which defenders don't really expect, and that then leads to these opportunities for his teammates. But the biggest surprise out of all is the emergence of Dillon Brooks. He is averaging a career high 21 points a game, and more importantly, he's been a legitimate second option for the Suns, who were in dire need of someone who can create for themselves.
Dude, I love how Dillon Brooks joined our team, and now we're like really good. Like, it's hard to stop Booker, Brooks, and Green on the court at the same time. Even though Green doesn't really play, wait until all like 3 of the trio comes back. We're not getting stopped.
Yes, he may not be the perfect player, and he certainly has his flaws, but the reality is that he is fearless, and he has moves that are really hard to stop even if there is good defense. Most people know him as a troll, and his shot is a little awkward, but what's made Brooks a real weapon is his strength. He can shed some of the strongest guys to create his own shots, and he has made a living in the mid-range. On this one, he's running pick and roll, and as he spins, he just goes through and around Jabari Smith Jr. before finishing that.
Shout
off.
out Dillon
So it's playing
Brooks.
this point of attack that has gotten Brooks more offensive opportunities. On this one, he uses Steven Adams' body to create separation, so Tariq Eason then comes to help. That then leaves Iguodala open, who then goes into a quick dribble handoff for an open 3.
And he bricked it, bro.
So what Coach Jordan Ott has done then is give Brooks similar touches that Devin Booker gets. One of the main designs they like running for Booker is this dribble handoff where he can then use his body to get into the paint for clean looks. Here's one with Dillon Brooks involved. As he takes that dribble handoff, he then uses his body to shut off Anthony Edwards, and that's enough space for him to knock down this jumper. Yes, Brooks does push off sometimes, but a lot of defenders are just not ready to take that first bump. So because he knows he will create separation, he then loves going into this turnaround fadeaway. On this one, he's isoing against Anthony Edwards, and he actually does a good job holding off his first bump, but on the second hit, that's enough space to go into this fadeaway. So as you can see, no matter how good of a contest a defender gets up, Brooks can always create that space he needs to flow into that fadeaway jumper. J-Dub, who was second team All NBA defense last year, had a lot of trouble fending off that specific shot. After Brooks made 2 of those on him, the Thunder then had to start bringing help. So the Suns reversed the ball back to Brooks for another ISO, and this time he goes through J-Dub to get into the paint and floats that shot in. And most importantly, he has been at the center of the Suns' culture shift. Last year, there was a lot of discussions about how the Suns should run the offense and why they haven't lived up to expectations.
Yeah, I don't know how the Beal, Booker, and Durant didn't work. Pretty sad, but like the Suns have gone through a lot of sad things. But hopefully this season has a happy ending, which I don't expect us to win the ring, at all. But I want us to make it far in the playoffs.
But without those concerns anymore, Brooks has given the Suns exactly what they were looking for: grit, energy, and confidence. While the Suns don't have the most talented roster, they are squarely in the playoff mix because they're finding competitive advantages in different areas. By focusing on being the best defensive team, they are aggressive in smart ways in a time where there is more space for offenses than ever. Offensively speaking, they use physicality, hustle, and depth to help balance out their defensive identity. And with a great young coach in Jordan Ott, this is why the Suns have been so good in the tough Western Conference. So, hope you guys enjoyed this.
That was a great video. I don't normally just watch Sun stuff on on YouTube and stuff. I normally just watch the games. That was a good video. I like that. Bye bye.